We are backstage at the Video Game Awards after Mr. James Cartwright has won Game of the Year for his smash hit that perfectly blends the video game and hobby gaming worlds. Oh, Mr. Cartwright, Jarvis Tier of ABC Game News. Do you have a brief moment for a quick interview?
Of course. Jervis, was it?
That's correct, Mr. Cartwright.
Call me Jim.
Of course, sir. Now that you've just won the Game of the Year award here at the 2026 VGA, what's going through your head right now?
Well, a ton. It's hard to believe that our team at Design to Dream has spent the last 2 years on this project. Everyone in the studio worked incredibly hard to bring this award home, and I'm sure we'll be celebrating later on tonight. So.
Now, Jim, what do you attribute to your success in this difficult industry? What advice would you have for up-and-coming young video game designers?
Well, Jervis, it's been a long road. As for my success, I have to attribute that to Full Sail University. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my ODT class in my 3rd month.
ODT?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Overview of Media and Design Technology, but it's easier just to refer to it as ODT. So.
And you say that without that class, you wouldn't have taken home Game of the Year? Why is that?
Well, ODT is what confirmed that I was following the right path when it came to game design. It really gave me a great overview of what the career would be, as well as showcase a lot of the other careers that I would be working with in the game design process, such as game artists, mobile developers, that type of thing. So.
Fascinating.
Yeah, in fact, I'm pretty sure I still have an old video that was my final project in the class, but I have to run, but I'll make sure to get you that video. Hopefully it can inspire some new game designers in the industry. Take care. Thank you. Hello, my name is Jim Cartwright. I am a student at Full Sail University. I'm currently pursuing my degree in the game design program. So this is actually for my assignment for overview of media and designs technology. So it's kind of a mouthful, usually just referred to it as ODT. But here I am, this is for not only the class, but also for posterity's sake. Just to kind of get an idea of where my thought process is and what I thought of the class. It's in my final week, so I just wanted to kind of get down my thoughts and give everyone an idea. If I ever happen to win a Game of the Year, this will be something that I guess I could look back at and kind of get a laugh from, and kind of see where my creative process all kind of started. So. We'll start off. There's a few questions that I wanted to answer for the class itself. So the first thing and the first question came about was, what was something you learned about your industry that you didn't know before the start of the class? For me, the major thing that I learned was how many different facets of the actual game design process there are. You're working with artists and graphic designers to web and mobile development. There's so many different careers that you're dealing with and people you're dealing with. It's not just enough. Originally I thought, well, maybe this would be something where I could take a look at it and say, okay, I need to know that, there's artists who work on the game, and I need to know that there's people who deal with the graphic end of it. But I didn't think that I would actually have to understand how much of that process I would be involved in. I feel like after taking this class and really kind of exploring through the different careers and the different degree programs, that as a game designer, I really need to have a good grasp of all of those different jobs. I need to know not just, oh yeah, hey, I need to be able to have a piece of art from this artist who's working on the art for a game. I need to be able to speak to them in the terminology that they use. I need to be able to understand the programs that they use. And in fact, I probably need to know how to actually use those programs. That will help me communicate a little bit better in my collaboration when working with those artists or working with those designers. That's not something that I ever actually thought I would have to really delve into. I thought that I would just be able to get a nice overview of it, and it would come with the just working the territory. But I realize now how important it is to actually truly understand the process that they go through, the tools that they use, and how to actually communicate using their kind of developer artistic language. So that's it's probably the biggest thing that I really didn't quite grasp prior to the class. So the next question is, did this course help you confirm your decision to pursue your degree? Absolutely. When I first approached Full Sail, my biggest concern was how well a game design degree would transition into the hobby gaming industry. As I've stated in many of my previous projects, I intended to blend the two industries into my career, and what I wanted to do was make sure that the skills that I learned were interchangeable as I sought out career opportunities with both industries. After completing the industry growth and the networking plan assignments, I realized that not only are the skills relevant, but they're necessary as a foundation for both industries. So level design, storytelling, game mechanics, this can be applied to video, board, and card games alike. So this realization put all doubt from my mind about choosing this career path. The next question is, what is the one assignment that you really thought was helpful or that you really learned something useful? For me, I'd have to say that that has to be networking plan from week 3. I can sometimes be very introverted, and I would not normally seek out networking connections on my own. This assignment gave great suggestions on where to start looking in my local area as well as online. My biggest takeaway from this project by far was when I went out onto LinkedIn and I reached out to a game designer called, his name was Jay Little. He's worked for Fantasy Flight Games. He's an independent developer. He also does public speaking on gamification and things like that. We had met a few years ago at a convention, and I never really worked up the courage to engage him in a meaningful conversation about the industry. But because of this assignment, I actually reached out to him. I sent him a request over LinkedIn, explained to him that I was a student, a game design student at Full Sail University, and asked him if he would like to join my network and what advice he may have for somebody just starting out in game design. Not only did he accept my invitation, he actually invited me to a Skype conversation so that he could answer my questions directly instead of going back and forth through email. Not only did he give me some incredible advice, he also told me to reach out to Fantasy Flight Games specifically, mentioned that him and I had talked, and inquire if they had any freelance work or any kind of editing work that I might be able to kind of get my feet wet and get on the ground floor just to kind of see what the industry is like from the inside and see if I can get a foot in the door at Fantasy Flight. So it was an incredible experience and one that I would have absolutely not sought out on my own without this project. So thank you. So the next question is what is the one thing that I would add to this course? Personally, the one major piece that I would add is a group project of some sort. With this class heavily focused on not only understanding our own industry, but also on other industries in the class, it makes sense to include a project that allows a bunch of networking in the class of people who are going to be, possibly working together on game design or web development or game art and bring them together for one kind of big project. It would be the perfect moment to start making connections, and you never know when some of these people that we meet here in ODT could become the artist that I need for a game, or someone who's developing the graphics or the web design, that type of thing. It would be such a great opportunity for us to be able to come together for 1 week of a project to really kind of start that networking process. So that's the biggest thing that I would like to see added to the course if possible. In regards to what I didn't find useful or would remove from the class, the only portion of the class that I didn't find particularly useful was the first assignment, Plan of Attack. Now, I wouldn't remove it from the course because I do feel that it could benefit many students, whether or not they don't have a lot of experience being organized or if this is their first online experience. But for me, it was a little redundant just because I had created a very similar plan in my last class, which was Psychology of Play. Kind of laid out my week on Sunday, where I wanted to fit in my assignments, where I wanted to fit in personal obligations. All of those things were already laid into that plan, and I tend to be an organized person as it is because I have, folders for every class, subfolders for each assignment, that type of thing. So for me, it wasn't incredibly useful, but I could absolutely see its place where it belongs for students if they don't have that kind of experience. So while, again, I can absolutely see it being part of the experience, for me, it just wasn't as useful. So that's all. So in conclusion, I just want to revisit one last thing, one thing that personally actually did mean a lot to me in this class, and that's the mission statement that's right here. This was probably my other favorite assignment. You can't see it from the screen, but what it says is the biggest portion of this takeaway is understand the reason why you do everything. Okay, before the what, before the how, comes the driving force and the passion behind why you do it. Knowledge is the gateway to success. Everyone can learn a skill, but in order to truly master your craft, you must first understand it. And don't be afraid to fail. Failure forces you to find creative solutions to the problem. That's the mission statement that I created in this class. But beyond that, I've actually highlighted specific words that break down those concepts into something just more bite-sized, more simple. Understand why. Knowledge is success. Don't be afraid to fail. And find solutions. Those 4 pieces of information, those 4 driving points make up who I am, not just as a student, not just as a game designer, but who I am as a person. Those are the things that I strive to do on a daily basis. And it was really through designing that mission statement for this class that I was able to articulate what it means to me to really follow that drive and follow that passion. And I hope that, when I look back at this in the future, I can see that this was where really my creative process started, was here in ODT. So thank you so much for this class. It's been a wonderful opportunity, and I hope to be able to look forward to looking back at it in the future. Thank you.